Hello, I'm Gretchen Bless. I am from Columbus, Indiana, and I'm currently a freshman at Indiana University. I'm a tall major, which means I'm double majoring in special and elementary education, and someday I plan to either teach elementary school or special education in an elementary school. My technology beliefs are that technology is crucial to be used in the classroom, especially in today when technology is moving faster and evolving. I believe that technology engages students and it helps to better organize your classroom. The artifacts that I will be talking about today are my digital citizenship lesson plan, my computational thinking lesson plan, my inquiry-based learning lesson plan, and my s'more. The digital citizenship lesson plan was about cyberbullying, and I believe that this is very important to teach young students about because they're going to be encountering cyberbullying and people on the internet from a younger age. And it's very important for them to learn how to successfully use the internet and to learn about what cyberbullying is and what it entails. The next lesson plan is the computational thinking lesson plan, and this lesson plan is actually whenever I did my micro teaching at the elementary school, and it involved a lot of different activities for the students to use. They used a Nearpod, which was very engaging for the students, and it helped them learn about the problem-solving process and how to use data on the internet. The goal was to teach them how to discover data and to come to conclusions on their problems. My next lesson plan was the inquiry-based learning lesson plan. This lesson plan was about fossil fuels, and it was a very important lesson because it was teaching students how to take a question and kind of be unique on their conclusion to the question posed. None of the answers were going to be the same, so it's a really good way to get students thinking. My s'more, which is a newsletter, I think is very important for students and families because it lets them know what's going on in the classroom and kind of gives them a heads up on what's going to be going on later. In my s'more that I used, I actually had a Google form for them to fill out, so that was like a contact info for them. And ways that I could integrate these into the classroom someday. Obviously, the lesson plans are very important. For example, the digital citizenship lesson plan, cyberbullying will always be a factor, and I think it's really important for students to know that they shouldn't do that and to know how to handle it if they do. Also, with the computational thinking lesson plan, I think it's very important for students to learn how to use data and problem solve using the data. Also, with the inquiry-based learning lesson plan, I believe it's important for students to take a question and find their own unique answer, and not everybody's answer is the same. And for the s'more, I think it's very important to send out a newsletter because it just really allows your students and their families to understand what's going on in the classroom. How I would use technology in the future, I'm going to go to my badges to talk about this. I think it's really important to be using different artifacts throughout your class because that way your students stay engaged. I think using technology is a great way to engage your students. So for example, for my production badge, I created an iMovie. I think that even students could create their own iMovie. So it's just a way to engage them and kind of enhance their learning. As well as an Edpuzzle, this helps the students take their learning into their own hands. And it ensures that they're focused on the lesson at hand and what they're learning from it. And finally, I'll talk about Kahoot because Kahoot is my favorite one. I think students really engage and are excited about the Kahoot because it's really just it's a game, so it's fun for them to wrap up a topic and it gives them the opportunity to show what they've learned. So yeah, those are my future ideas, basically, to be using a lot of artifacts and using a lot of different ways with technology in my future classroom because students are going to be using technology at home. So I think it's very important for them to learn, different ways to use technology in the classroom as well. It creates an exciting and engaging classroom for them.